Hey, and welcome to the Dreppin' Stone podcast, a podcast where two friends raise a glass and have a conversation. I'm Nick.
I'm Kyle.
Kyle!
Hey, man.
You know what?
What?
It's still summer.
It is. I was outside doing yard work yesterday. I'm well aware.
No.
That it is still summer.
So, like in most of the world, August, at least in the northern hemisphere, August is a summer month.
Yeah.
At least, I think in our neck of the woods.
Definitely in our neck of the woods.
Well, it's summer.
December's a summer month.
I was just going to say so. But most people consider August to be very squarely a summer month.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely the end of summer, I feel like. You know, it's not a burr month.
Right.
But it's towards the end of summer. It's usually school starting back.
Yeah.
It's kind of the end of the glory that is summer.
Correct. I think in our area specifically, at least here in Central Florida, school generally starts mid-August-ish.
Right.
I know a lot of our northern latitude listeners, school starts generally after Labor Day, so early September.
Right.
But for me, it's always been like August is that final month of summer.
Right.
You're transitioning into what you just said, the burr months.
Yeah.
So I think that it gives us another opportunity to continue or maybe wrap up the summer of cocktails.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been a hell of a good time this summer of cocktails.
Definitely,
I think it's been a great idea. But you know, I think looking at this episode as potentially being the last.
Yeah.
and kind of wrapping this up.
All good things must come to an end at some point.
Eventually.
Yeah.
And we need to finish it on a high note.
Correct.
I think there's one glaring cocktail I think you would associate with summer that we haven't done yet.
Well, it's been sitting over there in the corner and just like scowling at us for weeks at this point.
We made it like weeks ago. I don't know if I want that. I might make a fresh one.
Yeah, I mean,
put that over there.
The idea of that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been contemplating it.
Correct.
For sure. We were saving it for a special occasion.
This actually, we thought about starting on this particular cocktail.
Yeah.
And everyone's already read the episode title. It's the Margarita.
Yeah, we're doing a margarita.
But I feel like it's a way to end the summer of cocktails.
Yeah, agreed.
That doesn't mean that we're going to stop doing cocktails, though.
No, I think this has definitely like opened me up to the potential to throw in a cocktail every once in a while.
Absolutely.
Just because like it's a hell of a lot of fun.
Well, and that's what we kind of do naturally. You know, people think that, they just drink, whiskey and stuff, and that's not what we actually do.
I mean, I think there was a phase.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Certainly for me, of that was 90% of what I would drink.
Right.
Rarely ever would I come home and mix a cocktail. But
right.
This experiment that we've had this summer's definitely like opened me up to like wanting to try different, mixers, different liqueurs, and different stuff like that, and amassing a bit of a collection of things. So it's definitely brought that to the forefront for me, and that's kind of like my preferred thing now is at night in the evening hours mixing up some sort of a cocktail.
Yeah, I think for me what I've learned, cocktails are have a little bit of a farther reach. So like your friends that aren't whiskey people, or your friends that aren't beer people, or your friends that aren't wine people, like they might be cocktail people.
Sure.
And so like exploring that with other people and making drinks for people, what I'm getting at,
right,
I think broadens the experience as well. Because like, don't get me wrong, I love popping a bottle and pouring something for someone.
Yeah.
Like just a pour.
Right.
But there's something about that almost ritual. We've talked about rituals before. That ritual of like, combining the things in a glass and shaking it and pouring it. There's a little bit of a kind of show to it in a way.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah, me too. And I think it's like it's a more personal thing.
Sure.
It's more like crafted.
Yep. It's personal. It's performative. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think there's something too, like, it's like having somebody make a meal for you.
Exactly.
Having somebody make a cocktail for you. Yeah, it is just, there's just more love put into it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking of putting love into it.
Yeah.
You want to go make a margarita?
Hell yeah.
Let's do it. All right.
We did it.
Margaritas mixed.
Hell yeah.
Ain't nothing like a good sound of a margarita being mixed.
On the rocks.
Yeah. Listen.
Ooh.
Tinkle.
Just took tinkle.
Yeah, I got a little tinkle. All right, walk us through, Kyle, our specs for our margarita.
For this specific margarita, I've been enjoying the Dos Hombres mezcal that I got.
Oh yeah,
Nice smoky flavor to it.
Yep.
Used roughly 2 ounces of the mezcal to start.
Mm-hmm.
Added probably about an ounce of cointreau.
Mm-hmm.
Added the majority of a full lime. It was kind of a small lime.
Yeah.
Squeezed a lime in there, and then maybe about a half an ounce of agave syrup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gave that a nice firm shake and poured it into a glass.
Yeah. What I love about those specs as a whole is pretty simple.
Yeah.
Ultimately, a margarita is a simple cocktail.
Yeah, should be.
But look at the color of this.
Yep.
The color of a good margarita,
Yep.
kind of dull. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's not pretty.
Yeah,
But
no.
it's just-
I mean, it is.
There ain't much to it.
Yeah.
When you go to some of those restaurants and you get like a bright neon green margarita,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have their place.
Right.
As we've already said, like really most good cocktails tend to be kind of muted in color.
Yeah.
Because most liquors are muted in
they're
color
not,
as well.
they're not neon bright
Exactly.
things.
Man. For our margarita, we've used a mezcal versus a
Like traditional
tequila. Yeah.
Sure.
So why make that choice?
I just like the flavor.
Yeah.
Personally, like, to me, the mezcal still tastes like tequila.
Sure.
You know, in that air quotes kind of way. I just love that smoky flavor on top of it.
Yeah.
It just adds more depth to the margarita.
Sure.
I feel like. But I do like when I'm making a margarita. Like, I'm definitely somebody that I think with all of my cocktails that I've had over the summer here, I like for the spirit to be known.
Sure.
I like for it to be noticeable and prominent.
Yep.
I like the cocktail to be featuring the spirit.
Exactly.
I don't like it to be covered up. You know, I like it strong.
Yeah.
So I think the mezcal specifically helps achieve that.
Yeah.
You know, so you can actually kind of maybe even add in more. If you wanted to add in some juice to this, like a guava or a mango, you know, do a strawberry margarita. Like, I think the mezcal is going to help that spirit stay
Agreed.
forward.
Yeah.
Even if I am just doing a tequila margarita, like I like the tequila to be forward.
Yeah, agreed completely. And I think I know we said this in an earlier episode, but to me, I have two kind of margarita perspectives.
Yep.
I want like classic, or I want something like this.
Yeah.
I don't want a strawberry margarita. Like I don't want things like that.
Yeah.
And I honestly will go classic, like Jose Cuervo, something like it's cheap. And the reason being because I feel like that alcohol stands out a little bit more for whatever reason.
Right.
I'm not saying it makes the best margarita, but I think like it makes like that classic
margarita.
Yeah, classic margarita. But what I love about this is that it takes that classic margarita and it elevates it a little bit.
Yeah. It adds a depth to it that is going to fit into my palate.
Sure. And a mezcal is not smoky in the same way that a peated scotch is smoky. It's a different kind of smoke.
It is a different kind of smoke. It's more of a burnt, kind of more of a
Yes.
barbecue-y, kind of a campfire
Exactly.
note but I still like it. It's something that, like, again, fits into my palate.
100%,
I could definitely see where it
100%.
would be off-putting for someone else if they're like opposed to barbecue.
So if you don't have a
How could you be
mezcal,
opposed to barbecue?
if you don't have a
Makes no
mezcal, just grab a tequila, use the same specs, and you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
All right, shall we?
Shall we?
On the nose?
Smells like a smoky margarita.
Citrusy and smoky.
Freaking love it.
Delicious. We've opted with a half salt, half tahini rim here.
Yeah, super fancy.
All right, I'm
plunked a lime wedge down in there.
Yeah. I'm gonna go nothing first because we have a little bit of space on our glass where there's no salt or tahini. So I'm gonna go nothing first.
Good call.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yep.
Light,
Limey.
refreshing.
Yep.
And there's the hint of funk with the mezcal.
Yeah, for sure. Little smoky funk. We like the funk.
Yeah, because I think like mezcals more so than tequilas, and I think it's one of those situations. And again, I know we've talked about this, but all tequilas are mezcals, but not all mezcals are tequilas, and not all mezcals are smoky.
Right.
But to me, most mezcals can be a little funky.
Yeah. In this one specifically, to me, it's like there's like a barrel note.
Yeah.
That goes along with it, and I think it's really kind of impressive that it can hold up in the margarita, and you still can like feel those kind of lesser known or lesser prominent flavor notes.
This is not the best descriptor, but it's like a mezcal isn't as clean as a tequila.
Sure.
Like there's like that, like you said, some barrel notes. There's some like I don't know. It's just not as filtered, I guess. Like I don't know.
Clean's a great word.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it is just kind of funkier, little more rugged.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it's just not as pure.
Yeah.
As
maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I already went for the regular salt here.
Yeah.
And what's nice is that salt accentuates the lime nature.
Yeah.
And to me, I don't know if this is your case, but I like a half salted rim versus a salted rim. Like I want, like some restaurants you go to and they'll just like pile on the salt, or sometimes sugar if you want sugar. I want a half salted rim. That way I can choose how I experience a sip.
I'm that person that like
give me all the
cover that salt. Like I don't want to see any rim.
There's a glass here? Huh?
Yeah, no, just build me a salt glass. Yeah, for sure. To me, like I still can do that because I'll go ahead and take 3 or 4 sips and work my way around and create a clear.
Yeah.
If I need to, but like, nah, to me, like salt is a absolute necessity for the margarita.
I don't disagree.
I've got to have salt.
I don't disagree with you. The salt definitely makes it.
Yeah. I mean, I can still enjoy it. I want that salt because once I get about halfway and I've cleared about half of that rim, I take the rest of the salt that's left on the rim and throw that in the drink.
Oh, yeah.
Let that marinate.
Yeah.
That last sip of the margarita is the best sip because it's the saltiest thing. I mean, it's so delicious. Like I'm working to that moment when I'm having a margarita. I'm working towards that last sip. Everything else before that is just not as good.
You just want boozy saltiness.
Just that, oh, it's so good.
What about the tajin?
I haven't gone there. Let me try it. Like tajin works so well with this specifically because the tajin has like a bit of a interesting barbecue-y, smoky note also.
Yeah.
So it does just marriage with this so well.
And for those of you who don't know, tajin is, I'm pretty sure it's Mexican in origin, and it is a salt mixed with chilies and lime. It's used on everything these days.
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter lives by it.
Oh, yeah.
She's gotten to the point where she carries it around with her.
Just a little
just in case.
shaker of tajin. Yeah.
Yeah, a little vanilla ice cream.
Oh,
tajin on it.
not a bad idea. Yeah. It's fantastic.
She'll put it on everything.
This is a solid margarita, man.
Yeah, not bad.
I know we've said this multiple times throughout the summer, but this screams summer.
Yeah, like the margarita is a quintessential summer beverage.
Yeah.
And we would have been wrong to not include it.
Yeah.
In the inaugural
Agreed.
summer of cocktails. But yeah, and it's such a diverse cocktail too because you can really have fun like playing around with your specs.
Yeah.
Trying different tequilas and just messing around with it and seeing what you can create out of it. It's always going to be good, though.
Yeah. I've got a quick margarita story.
Okay.
So of all the things that Scotland did well for me this summer, and we're going to talk about travel in a couple weeks, I had margaritas on 3 different occasions in Scotland.
Wow.
Not a damn one of them was good.
Wow.
I would say next to terrible.
Man, that's bizarre.
Oh, yeah. They were like...
What was the issue, do you think?
Part of me wants to do that, like, you guys just never have had a good margarita kind of thing, which I don't think is the truth. That's not the case, but like for whatever reason, I mean, like 2 were at like Mexican restaurant, like they disappointed.
Wow. You think it was like a premix kind of a thing?
I think the specs were just off. Maybe it was like maybe the lime juice wasn't like super fresh. I don't know if they were using real limes,
right?
But like the 3 that I had were just
garbage.
Not good. So get your crap together, Scotland.
Yeah.
I mean, when someone wants a margarita,
for sure, but you know, I guess if you're in Scotland and you don't get a good margarita, like I feel like that shouldn't be a note against them.
I agree completely. Like if you're in Scotland and you get a bad whiskey, okay, yeah.
Man, I had some real shitty Chinese food when I was in Spain. I'm like, I shouldn't really be that upset, right? Like if you went to China and you had some bad Chinese.
Oh no, I'm not upset. Just like, but what I mean is, I feel like the margarita is such a ubiquitous drink.
Yeah, it's definitely to the level of it's worldwide.
Like if I had one bad drink, nah, that's fine.
Yeah, I should be able to go to Japan and get a good margarita. Really should.
Correct.
Like it's that kind of a drink.
McMurdo Station in Antarctica, you're gonna have a good
damn fine margarita right there.
Exactly. But in Scotland, nah.
No chance, man.
At least the 3 chances I took. I have a wife that also will agree completely.
Stuck to your G&Ts.
That's exactly it. I knew it.
I can't believe it took you 3 tries.
Well,
burn me once, shame on me. Burn me twice, shame on you. Burn me 3 times.
I'm an idiot.
What happened? I blacked out.
I love a good margarita.
Yeah, and margarita is definitely one of those cocktails too that'll just come up. And you know what? You know, it'd be great right now. Margarita.
Yeah. It's a great all-around cocktail.
Yeah.
You can very easily have one, mid-afternoon. You can have one with lunch. You can, I mean, if you're doing a brunch thing, absolutely. I don't feel like it's an after-dinner drink.
Yeah,
but
no, not really.
Other than that,
It's more of an aperitif.
it's an all-over cocktail for me.
You know what I never order at Mexican restaurants?
Margarita.
Margaritas.
Yeah.
I have another beverage that I prefer.
What's that?
It's the michelada.
Oh, which is a Bloody Mary with beer?
More or less.
Yeah.
It's more or less just like a beer with
Clamato,
a mix.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clamato.
Yeah.
That's always my beverage with Mexican
Oh, totally see that.
food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
I
Absolutely love it.
do not like anything approaching a Bloody Mary.
No joke.
No, like I can't. And I love tomatoes. I love spicy tomato-based
that's kind
stuff.
of bizarre.
But I do not like Bloody Marys. I do not like micheladas. I just also there's a.
Have you ever had like one with clamato and like all of it?
I feel like you and I did at the Mouse House because that
At
used
Epcot?
to be that used to be your go-to. Like
Yeah, I love that one there.
Yeah.
That's still really good.
I feel like
I
I've tried it,
think
but
they use clamato.
okay.
I don't know if we got it at the outside or if we went down into the tequila bar and got it.
Yeah.
The one down at the tequila bar, hands
Lights
down.
out.
Yeah, like it
just-
so much better.
I think we got the one outside.
Yeah.
It's just not my jam.
I
That doesn't
I
mean-
get it.
That doesn't mean I wouldn't try another one.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe it's also because like most of the Bloody Mary kind of mixes are all flat. Like there's not a whole lot of flavor. And you just get like kind of
Zing zang.
yeah. You get like the muted tomato, and like to me, like nothing sad than a mute tomato. Nothing more sad than a mute tomato.
Yeah, they need to sing,
Yeah, exactly.
especially in the summertime.
Exactly.
I want that full-throated tomato.
Hola. Speaking of singing in the summertime,
Yeah.
did you see what I'm gonna say is like I'm gonna call it a triumph for Canada.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Oh, Canada?
No, well, not O Canada, but that is
Faux
the
Canada.
faux Canada. That is the comeback of one Celine Dion at the Olympics. Did you see that?
I didn't see it.
Oh my gosh!
No,
man.
we
Like,
were traveling that day of the opening ceremony.
mhm.
And I saw that she performed, but I've yet to see a playback of it.
Like, if you know anything about, not that I'm a huge Celine Dion fan by any means,
Right.
but like if you know anything about her story, like she's
You know anything about Nick? You
a-
do know.
he's a
He's
Celine.
a huge Celine Dion fan.
Yeah, my heart will go on.
Indeed it will.
Yeah,
That's the power of love. Not the power of love.
that
What
wasn't
was it?
Celine Dion.
But what was her first hit was the power of love.
Was it?
It's called that, but it's not,
It's not
Huey
Huey
Lewis's
Lewis.
power of love. It's yeah, actually, like if you type in power of love,
Yeah,
Huey Lewis is not the first one that comes up.
it's Celine Dion.
It's Celine Dion's
Okay.
power of love. Pretty sure this was her first #1 hit. Nailed it.
That's the power of love. Not the same song, but close. Anyway, even I, it was a
The dark-hearted,
dark-hearted
stone cold son of a
Exactly.
bitch that you are
exactly
can
No.
appreciate Celine Dion.
Exactly. No, like I am not a huge Celine Dion fan, but like knowing what she's gone through in the last couple of years, and even before that, but
Yeah.
like the last couple of years has been really
Yeah.
bad with her illness.
Yeah.
And to see her like get up and stand up and like belt out this song.
What did she sing?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Was it like not one of her songs, but just like a?
I think it was a French
song for the
yeah.
for the
I don't
Olympics.
remember exactly what
Yeah,
she sang.
yeah.
Because honestly, like I had no idea what she was singing,
Right.
but I was like, whoa.
Right.
And she's standing on the Eiffel Tower belting out this song. It's like, that is incredible.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you, Celine Dion.
Yeah. Go off, Queen. I think that's what the kids say.
That's
Kind of a thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they say. Yeah. Oh man.
She got the Riz. Skibbity toilet.
I'm so confused by all of
Yeah,
that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know any of it.
Yeah, good on her.
Yeah. No, seriously, like really cool.
Yeah.
Have you caught any of the Olympics at all?
Since we've been back,
Yeah.
yes. We've been watching some of the events and stuff, and I gotta admit, like, I love the Olympics.
I do too.
I really do. Like, it's like, it's one of those things that like you get jacked about, and you get very patriotic, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden you get really interested in things that you normally don't care anything about.
Right?
Why are there so many different types of swimming? I don't know. It should just be you get in the pool and whoever's the fastest is the fastest. But like, yeah, now we're gonna do.
We're gonna count to
this.
3 and we're just gonna
swim-
go.
We're gonna swim this way, and
Yeah.
then we're gonna swim this way, and then we're gonna try a different way.
Yeah.
And
Close
I
your
don't
eyes, close
understand
your
it.
eyes.
It's like because we don't do racing, we don't do like running. like that.
Yeah, we do. 100 meter, 1400 meter.
Yeah, and they do that in all of those other swimming ways.
meter.
They do the 200 breaststroke.
Right.
They do the 400 breaststroke. They still do that, but then they've got all the different strokes. It's be more like, yeah, we're going to run this way with both our feet. Then the next time you're only allowed to use one foot, and then the next time you're going to run backwards. It just doesn't make sense. Like, just do the freestyle. That's my
do what you want.
That's my soapbox.
Get from point A to point B.
Whoever's the fastest in the water,
sure,
you get the medal.
Yeah, but then
and it's
but then
Katie Ledecky.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
She is
Holy
fast.
crap!
Like, it's not even competitive.
Yeah,
I watched her last night.
The fact that
incredible.
she was a full lap basically ahead of
just about
else.
Yeah.
Wow. No, I see what you're saying, and I raise you this idea of I'm watching the Olympics.
Yep.
And I feel like I'm watching ESPN 8, the Ocho. Because it's like all of these sports that I know exist.
Any other time in
exactly.
a 4-year
like,
gap, I don't ever watch.
I watched, and okay, so today, in terms of when this episode releases,
it's a Wednesday.
Is a 7th. Yeah,
right.
It's a Wednesday. as all Drip and Soda.
Yes, I know it's Wednesday.
It's the 7th. The Olympics officially ends the 11th, but like at this point, we're kind of winding things down. Like we've got some other stuff. But the other day, I watched an entire handball match between the Netherlands and Spain, I think. I don't care about handball. I've never, I didn't even know, I knew it existed on the periphery, but I've never watched a handball match in my life. And I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, dang, that's pretty good.
At this moment, I don't know what handball is.
And that's okay.
I don't know if it's like 4 corners.
Yeah.
That's what I'm picturing in my head with with a tennis ball.
Sure.
The game you used to play. In
I know exactly.
Yeah. That's what I'm picturing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's accurate.
No. It's like a cross between soccer, basketball, and
lacrosse,
dodgeball, maybe.
Oh.
But on a very small field, court,
in a living room.
Yeah, kind of fake. But the ball is like the size of you remember those little dodgeballs that you just hurl at people's faces.
Oh yeah,
it's about that size.
Nerfy.
A little. I don't know if it's nerfy or if it's more like a volleyball kind of texture.
Right.
But you could very easily palm this ball.
Right.
It's about that size.
A little larger than a softball.
Yeah, like an oversized grapefruit.
Yeah, I've definitely never seen this sport. Never in my life. No idea what you're talking about.
It was good, man.
Right.
I loved watching it.
Yeah.
And that's what the Olympics does.
Yeah.
It not only brings people together and countries together, but it allows you to I don't give a shit about handball.
Right.
But it's on, and I'm going to watch it. Because, here we go.
Yeah, handball, the summer version of curling.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Maybe. But then, it also gives you the opportunity to watch things that and root for your country, or maybe even countries that, for some reason you have an affinity for.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like anytime I watch the Olympics, there's part of me that, kind of also roots for the home country.
Yeah.
Just because, I know, that's got to be amazing to be at your home crowd and, to be able to accomplish the thing. I was watching last night, and there was a swimmer that has, I don't remember his name, I apologize, but he's won already 3 golds, and I think 2 of those were individuals.
Wow.
And he's been able to do it in front of his home crowd, and how amazing that was. And in his post-race interview, he for whatever reason mentioned the fact that like Michael Phelps never got to do it at the Olympics on American soil. It was always away from it. And he was just talking about I look back to the greats, and it would have been so cool for him to have been able to experience this the way I feel right now in my country to do these things is incredible.
Yeah. What I love too, and I don't know if you saw any of the rugby stuff, but
I've seen clips of the ladies.
Dude.
That absolute athlete that's on the is it Samoan? Is it
black jerseys?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
this
she's
lady
hardcore.
Is absolutely amazing to watch her work.
Oh man, I can't remember her name. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, she's doing the haka and
yeah.
She is a threat.
Yeah. To me, and that's what's cool. So I've recently, within the last couple of years, really gotten into rugby.
Mm-hmm.
And I love rugby.
Right.
And I love that what rugby does kind of on a national stage is it enables people to constantly play each other from different nations.
Right.
And we do this with soccer, football as well. But here in America, we don't really have a whole lot of that. But like the rest of the world, like that's such a big part of like athletics and sports identity is playing other people from other countries.
Right.
And that to me is what's so cool about watching the Olympics is that it's not just the same sports that we get here in America. It's not just baseball, basketball, football. It's other sports that aren't as prevalent here, but are just fun as hell to watch.
Right.
Like rugby.
Right.
So, man, I watched literally every single men's rugby match and every single women's rugby match. And like teams that like I don't care about.
Right.
But I care. Like I
but
choose.
the sport is still fun.
Exactly. The sport is still fun. And then you kind of get to choose like, nope, we're going for Fiji this time.
Right.
Because maybe they're the underdog or like, I don't know. I just like their uniforms.
Just like that one dude right there.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got
and that's what's
a
cool.
good vibe about him.
And then you can also like, yeah, but the U.S. is playing. So like, nope, now we're going for the U.S.
Yeah.
Or like for me, I really love the Irish national rugby team.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're great. And they play the U.S. I'm like, I don't know who to go for.
Yeah.
Down go team.
Just whoever wins.
Right. Right.
I'm happy they won.
So like, obviously as the American, I'm like, go America. But as the person who likes the Irish team, I'm like, go Ireland.
Right.
So, you know,
right.
And that's what's so cool about the Olympics is it enables you to do that.
For sure. The other thing about the Olympics that I really do love though is it bringing those sports. Like obviously in America, we watch football, we watch baseball, we watch basketball. I don't really know why basketball's in the Olympics because we don't have football.
Right.
Do we have baseball again? I know we did for a few years.
I don't know
but then I
if
feel like they took it back
know if
out.
They took baseball. I don't.
Like I've always loved the fact about the Olympics how it highlights these other sports and
Right.
that you can see it creates new superstars.
Exactly.
Like the Olympics kind of thrives on it when there is like a Michael Phelps type of an athlete that normally doesn't get attention, but like. Buddy, when you're in the Olympics, like you're it.
Simone Biles,
Usain Bolt was that way. Yeah, like those kinds of like next level athletes that you see do such amazing things that you just normally here we just don't see it that often.
Yeah,
and I love that about the Olympics. I love that it finds those people and like makes them like celebrities.
Well, and like. Your average, I'm going to say your average American doesn't care about gymnastics. But when you've when you've got this woman who is just head and shoulders above everybody else, which is kind of funny because she's really small, but head and shoulders above everybody else, it's like, I actually care about gymnastics. I watched the entire team gymnastics thing with my wife and it was great.
Yeah.
And you kind of do like she messed up there. I'm like, I can never do that shit.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I've seen so many memes this go around of like people like sitting there with chips all over their chest. Like I could have done that.
I can never.
How'd you mess that?
I have no like. There are words that they're saying in relation to her flipping through the air. I have no idea what you're saying. It's exactly it. It makes stars.
Yeah,
and that's so cool.
Yeah, love it.
And what I love too is it enables countries that maybe don't spend as much money because the U.S. spends a lot of money. And you could argue that that's one of the reasons that the U.S. does really well is that we spend collectively a fair amount of money on these athletes. But then like to see countries that represented, they have one singular athlete. And like, is that person competitive? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But how cool is that?
Yeah.
Like you get to represent your country. Whether there's 500 something athletes like in America or you're it.
Yeah.
You're our one athlete.
Yeah.
Like that is so cool.
I saw a really interesting thing the other day it was what if you win a medal from different countries, how much money you get.
Wow.
By making that.
Yeah.
And like America's actually like quite low.
Yeah, I did see that.
Rather low.
Yeah.
Comparatively to a lot of other places.
Yeah.
Where there are some countries where if you win a medal, you're kind of making a fortune.
You're making a bank, yeah.
Not the case in America. Not the case in a lot of, I guess, more the more dominant.
Yeah.
If you want to say that.
Well, I think it's because they spend a lot of money on that athlete prior.
Right.
So like
on their preparation.
Exactly. Yeah. Things like that. So maybe that's the kind of balance out. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah. I don't know. It was kind of surprising. I was like, oh wow, like if you win a gold in America, I want to say it was like you get like $20,000 or something like that. But there were some countries where it was like,
700. I saw
half a million or something like that. I was like, wow.
Yeah. So maybe that's the incentive, and it's just like the kind of reverse for us here in America. You get some money, but it's like, no, you're representing. And
I'm sure too, if you are a Simone Biles, you're gonna get so much endorsements and stuff like that like you're gonna get your payday. Don't even worry about it.
Right.
Even if you're just like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I think our first gold in this Olympics, in these games. Yeah. I hate that phrase, these games, because like they use it so often in these games. Yeah. But I think our first solo was in fencing. Oh. Wouldn't be surprised if that dude, gets picked up.
Wheaties box.
Yeah, Wheaties, Nike, like whoever. Sure. Like, I'm sure he's gonna make a good payday after that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't watch fencing.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you his name. I have no idea what it is.
Is that where like people are like pulling up like is it like chain link? Or
well, no, I think it's all board.
Oh, like privacy fence.
But it could be like PVC. It could be wood.
Oh,
like,
vinyl.
You don't know.
Oh, you go into it and you're just not.
Yeah, they give you the supplies. It's kind of like Iron Chef. They cast iron. Fuck! Why did I get cast iron?
Right. So I have one qualm, if you will.
Okay.
I mean, among others, but I have one big.
I know you. Yeah. You got more than one qualm.
I do. But I have one thing that I think prevents the Olympics from, I don't want to say like being even bigger, but at least
that
for
they
me,
don't have the car punching event.
Well, they did. They took it out this year. Yeah. For me, it's that up until this games, Kyle. Up until these games. Up until these games.
Right.
I feel like accessibility to watching all of the Olympic events was rather difficult. And what I mean by that is like, yes, you have the primetime Olympic coverage here in America. Obviously, it's American based, so you get a lot of that. But like up until recently, now all of the Olympic stuff is, at least for us, streamed on Peacock. And you can also watch it in various other places. But like I have access to the Peacock app, so I can watch all of it.
Right.
And like to me, that's what makes the Olympic Games really cool, because I can watch, this country versus this country that I normally would not have access to. Right. So my qualm is that up until these games, I didn't have that. And there wasn't as much accessibility to that.
Well, I mean, I loved the way that it worked when we were little. Yeah. If you had NBC that would have the primetime coverage at night, but then like throughout the day, if you watched
ESPN 8, the Ocho.
I don't know if ESPN, maybe they did. Maybe
I
they
have
had
no
some
idea.
events,
No
but like
idea.
USA Network would cover stuff all day long.
That's true.
And I think TBS was the other one that would cover stuff all day long, and it was always like just random stuff that was over there, but like they always saved the prime time stuff for
things,
NBC. Yeah. What I hate about it at these games is it's so much better when it is in your time zone.
Absolutely.
Because you're watching it all happen live.
Yeah.
Like, I totally got spoiled the other day because they put that shit out there right away that the women's team, the gymnastics won. I got spoiled on that at like, noon.
Sure.
Local time. And then watched it at night and was already, like, there's no anticipation of who's going to win is not like it used to be.
And that's what I'm saying.
When you didn't know.
Well, see,
already.
For me, like the way when we were younger, the way it worked, obviously if it's not in your time zone, all of those things are happening and you're not going to know that until
you watch it.
Yeah. But now how media and news works, you're going to, unless you're just, barring all of it,
right,
you're going to know right when it happens.
Right.
So that's what I actually like now, is that I can watch those things in real time. If I have the ability to, I can watch them in real time.
Could you have watched the women's
I did.
team finals when it happened live? You didn't watch it on the prime time?
Nope, I watched it live.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Again, Drip and Stone, sponsored by the Peacock app by NBC.
Wow.
Yeah. We're making big money.
Yeah.
Anyway,
surprised they didn't get us to go over there.
We were
already over there.
Well, they offered, but I said let Snoop have his day. Which made sense.
Let him have his day. He's Snoop.
Well, more people know.
That was too generous of you. You should have taken off on it. Yeah. We could be in Paris right now.
I know. Anyway.
Yeah. Still love it, though.
Yeah, me too. I really do. And I like, as much, people always have their opinions surrounding all of these things. But I like that this is something collectively that we can kind of all agree is good.
Yeah.
Like, let's do this. Like, there's what's at stake here? Nothing. Other than just
I mean,
funsies
a lot of money.
Well, sure, but I mean, like, this is not a life and death situation,
right?
Unless you're the North Korean team,
right?
And you lose to China, then you're fucked. I'm kidding. I hope I'm kidding. What I mean? Like, this is not life and death situation. This is like sport.
Yeah.
And like, yes, I recognize. I say there's nothing at stake. I recognize there's a lot at stake, but like, it's all in the name of sport.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. You got anything else?
I don't think so.
We have nothing left in our glasses either.
Now, we emptied these real quick.
Yeah. You want to go make another one?
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Well, let's wrap this up and then we'll go make another one.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, we'd love to know, what do you think about the Paris Olympics?
Yeah. And what do you think about margaritas?
Ooh.
You ever had one?
Have you had a margarita
They are
at
a
the
rare
Olympics?
drink. Oh, man. A Parisian margarita.
Right, because if there's a Olympics in Scotland,
It's not going to be good.
the margaritas aren't going to go
It's
well.
a lousy margarita.
Yeah, exactly. What is your favorite Olympic sport?
And what's your favorite version of a margarita?
Yeah. And what's the Olympic sport that you watched and you were so surprised that you actually loved?
Yeah. And what was that margarita that you didn't think it'd be good, but you had it and it just blew your socks off?
Yeah, it's not in Scotland, I can tell you that.
Might have been in Scotland.
It was not in Scotland. Sorry, Scotland, I love you, but your margaritas suck.
Up there in Edinburgh.
Yeah, nah. You can get in touch with us through email. It's drepandstone@gmail.com. You can also get in touch with us through social media.
It's a margarita.
Yeah.
But it's got Guinness in it.
Because you're in Ireland?
Yeah. But would they make a good margarita? Do you have good margaritas in Ireland?
I don't think I had a margarita in Ireland.
Ugh. It's always one word, Drep and Stone. DREP and Stone. Wherever you're socializing your media, we're socializing some there also. And you should check it out and, let us know.
Yeah, because we're active on that thing. We're doing a lot of cool, fun stuff.
Yeah.
And we'd love it if you support the podcast. You can do so a couple ways. First of all, tell someone about Drep and Stone.
Whisper it in that ear.
Oh, yeah. Second of all, find us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/drepandstone. Helps keep the lights on and the machines working. And if you want to get yourself something special and also help support the podcast, you can do so through Flaviar. That's flaviar.com. Use the code DSP10 upon checkout, and you get yourself some money saved.
Hook yourself up.
Yeah. On that note.
Hey,
buddy.
Hey, buddy.
May your glass overflow.
And your Olympic ass never show. This is going to be pretty. Not bad. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.